Good morning. We are back for the Mayor's Budget Improvement Discussions. We have before us the Nashville Career Advancement Center, NCAC. Patrick, it's good to see you. I know it's also St. Patrick's Day, so we were just having a little bit of
Thank you for the opportunity.
levity for that. I'm going to give you a second to introduce the folks who you have with you, anybody sitting next to you, and then anybody that you brought behind you. But before we get there, just want to highlight that we have Council Member John Cooper is with us today, and we'll ask you to walk us through your operating budget. You don't have any capital requests, so we'll start with that. So Patrick, welcome. First of all, this is your first budget hearing, and we're excited to have you, so we'll let you take it away.
Great. Thank you so much, Mayor. Talia, Rich, thank you for having us this morning. I have Brian Clark with me, NCAC Deputy Director and Head of Finance, and then Ellen Zinkowitz, Director of Youth Programming, and the brains and brawn behind Opportunity Now. So the budget that you have before you and the programming that it funds is really striving to meet the needs of Davidson County residents and all of Davidson County residents and kind of align with the priorities of Metro. We're also working very hard to align our services with other Metro agencies. As we all know, workforce development, transit, affordable housing, all these issues are linked. So the more we can work together, the more we can do for the residents of Davidson County. So I didn't prepare too many remarks because I wanted to make sure we could have a nice free flow and discussion this morning. But the main chunks of our budget for our Metro subsidy are Opportunity Now, the Construction Readiness Partnership, and then we have grant funding through the state.
So let's talk about the buckets of money that come for the NCAC. I think that's helpful for people to understand at home. If we think about your current budget, you've got about $7 million in grants. So why don't you talk about what those grants, where they come from, and what they do, because that's a significant part of your operating budget.
Yeah, absolutely. So our grant funding is it comes down from the Federal Department of Labor, mostly through the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. Through the State Department of Labor and down to us, and it's actually $7.3 million to operate the American Job Center system, as well as the federal youth programming for Davidson, Rutherford, Wilson, and Trousdale County. We, like MTA, are one of the few agencies that go across county lines. And so what we do there is we operate, we have only one American Job Center currently in Davidson County, and that's something that is one of our big FY18 priorities, is exploring ways to get those services out into the community and to people that need them more. We offer one-on-one career counseling, job coaching, different kinds of workshops, resume building, interview workshops, as well as connecting people directly to training opportunities or directly to employers. And right now we have a beautiful center out in Metro Center. But if you're living out in Antioch, it's not the easiest place to get to. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be rolling out our Coaches in the Community program, which will be partnering with strategic community partners throughout the area to really get those services to the people that need them most, while we explore ways to get those services permanently, in more accessible areas.
So that $7.3 million that you all get, does that just go for salaries?
No. A big chunk of it is salaries. About 1.8, 1.7 million, that's for our youth contractors, so that's contracted costs. And then 25% of that is paid work experience, and that's for out-of-school youth.
So tell me those numbers again. 1.8 is for youth programming?
1.8 is for youth.
And is that actually programming where youth come and are part of something?
Ellen, could you?
Yeah, so we have 2 contracts in Davidson County, 4 contracts in our region. And those contracts primarily provide intensive case management. They're working with a population of disconnected youth, so 16 to 24 out of work and out of school.
And how many do you guys serve?
We serve about 650 overall.
And that's for the whole region, not just
Right.
Davidson County?
Right. In Davidson County, it's more like 400. Those numbers of young people are individuals who are working with a case manager, who are looking at what do they want to be when they grow up, and then who are working again with that case manager to get connected to training opportunities, utilizing paid work experience as a tool to help move them into self-sufficient careers and economic self-sufficiency overall.
And what kind of data do you guys have of tracking over time that shows the success of moving those kids with that intensive case management into success?
So with our previous benchmarks, with the previous funding, which is what we're kind of still operating under, I apologize, it's the last federal funding before it switched to WIOA, we were running at about 87% placed into employment, and about the same for people receiving credentials. So that's a pretty significant number of people for a population that was otherwise really sort of lost in the world.
And do we follow them? So is that 87, is that a one placement data point, or do we know that they were actually staying employed?
So that's a one moment data point, but it happens after they've left the program. We follow them for a year.
Okay.
And with the new program, in addition following them for the year, we are now tracking their employment retention at two different benchmarks. So between 3 and 6 months out of the program, and between 9 and 12 months out of the program.
Okay, great, thanks. So that's your case, that's the youth component of that. I think you said that was a $1.8 million cost. So talk to me about where the rest of the money is allocated.
About $2.5 million or so, probably about with fringe, about $3 million or so goes to salaries and employee costs. And then the other big chunk, about $1.4 million, is for training. These are what's called individual training accounts. So they are in 5 key sectors to connect people directly to occupational training. And then, like with the youth, we have benchmarks 2 quarters after someone exits the program, so about 6 months later and then a year later to track their success.
And what kind of numbers are we talking about when we're talking about that population? How many folks are we serving?
In 2016, it was about, I think, 475 people.
For the region?
For the region, yes. No, 475 for Davidson County,
Okay.
I'm sorry. And then, Brian, do you have it off the top of your head about what the region would be?
The region was, with the adult and the dislocated, around 1,700.
1,700.
And I'm not sure where the retention data is right now.
Okay. And what's the concern, if any, because this is all coming, you said, from the federal government, significant funds with the current proposed budget, do you see an impact to your funding? And if so, what does that look like?
Potentially, it could be great. It's federal Department of Labor funding. Department of Labor's proposed a 20% cut yesterday.
Yep.
It seems like a lot of it will be coming, or proposed coming out of Job Corps, SEP, but they kind of mentioned our programming as well, and unfortunately we just don't know right now. It could be substantial though.
So if let's just assume that it's a 20% cut across the board for federal funding that's going to come to you, that's a 20% cut in your grant.
That would be.
I need you to be thinking about that.
Yes.
I know you can't think about it today, it just came out yesterday, but I think you're going to need to take a hard look at what that's going to mean from an allocation perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so your current budget also has $475,000 for the construction readiness plan that was funded. How's that going?
So it started off slowly, but we're in a really good place now. We have 3 training providers that can train about 40 people at a time, and this is getting the National Construction Certification Education and Research Foundation's credential. So it's really helping people get on that first rung on a career pathway. And so we budgeted $475 in the beginning because we weren't sure what it would be cost to build out a program like this. We hadn't done cohort-based training before. But we realized there was a lot of efficiencies out there. There was already organizations in this field that could provide the training. So we've spent about $275,000 of it. So what we're going to do with those savings is now we're going to invest in the next year in hospitality entry-level positions as well as healthcare. What we really are striving to do with this program is create sustainable career pathways and kind of improve the quality of that supply, of that entry-level workforce, while also improving the job quality for those workers. So just like with construction, where we partnered with developers and builders throughout the region, and also labor unions, and we're partnering better with them now. The apprentice programs will be coming directly to our training, so they can meet one-on-one with the trainees before they graduate. So really trying to take these positions, because there's a lot of construction jobs and soon to be a lot of different new hotels opening up, a lot of hotel positions. And instead of saying these are low-paying jobs, we're just not gonna, work with them, we're saying that these are a huge driver in our economy right now. And there's a lot of opportunity there. So how can we improve these job quality for the people that could use them most? And also, how can we support our businesses so they don't have the turnover and they can save money and hopefully pass a little bit of that savings back on to their employees? So in year 2, we propose to train 280 people, or 350 would enter training, 280 to complete training, and connecting 560 to employment, either directly to employment or post-training. So that would give us a cost per hire of around $848.
And where are you finding these folks, and how are you finding them?
So the other thing we had to do is working with strategic community partners throughout the area, access points, but it was a lot of work to put on their shoulders. So what we're doing now is we're actually going to be hiring 2 full-time community liaisons to go out there into the community and be out there every day, meet with groups and meeting with people to work with community centers, work with faith-based organizations to say, let us know when you're meeting with your constituents and we will be there. Or if you can get a group together and we will come out to meet with that group. And they will kind of be that linchpin between the community, the training providers, and then the employers that we're working with.
And so is that reflected then, I think, in your budget down here, you want to hire 2 new people? Or is that being absorbed by some other?
Correct. That would be 2 new people, but within the 475.
Okay, so that's already taken
Yep.
care of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would just say that I'm excited about the shift that he's doing.
Yeah,
because
me too.
I really think that you're going to be able to make a big difference really quickly by particularly bringing in those other disciplines. Because there's such a need in both hospitality and healthcare in terms of jobs in the city that need to be filled.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's the goal.
Opportunity Now, $1 million last year as part of the launch for that program. I looked at your requests. Let's go down to your operating budget requests now and talk about that.
Sure thing. So that is actually, will be going in front of the supplemental budget starting next Tuesday, I believe. So the $3.5 million is for participant costs of wages to participants, as well as support around them. Ellen, would you be able to kind of talk about the 3.5 a little bit?
Yeah, so obviously, young people in supported employment kinds of positions, those service-rich positions that we've talked about that we've created through Opportunity Now, they require adult support, mentoring, they require skill building, and the wages also being paid allows for those young people to have a richer, more job shadowing kinds of experiences in sites where they would not necessarily be someone's entry-level workforce. The entry level may require degrees or extensive experience. When we can supplement the wages for the young people, when we can make it easier for businesses to engage with them in that short-term time period, it gives us the leverage to have those businesses provide opportunities for exposure to young people, to more fields, to more kinds of jobs that are out there, and to different kinds of workplaces. So having these resources available allows us to leverage those into richer internship kinds of experiences for young people.
Does this increase the number of internships?
This hopefully will, because we do intend to leverage that against other investments. So this is what we're asking for this year. We're also asking for exactly the same for next year, but we are hoping that we will be able to build on our momentum from this year and some of the corporate contributions, because we actually see this program not just as a great thing for young people. We clearly see it as a great thing for young people, but also as helpful with pipeline development for our businesses. When young people are exposed to the kinds of jobs that happen in workplaces, they can make different choices about their training and about their college going than they would have if they didn't know what was out there or what might be interesting to them.
And how are you all reaching the kids?
So that has been a little bit of a timing struggle this year because we ran smack into spring break, but we are really excited about some of the momentum we're seeing. So we're utilizing spring break and the chance for young people to be in the communities to reach out through parks and community centers and the Housing Authority. We also are working on expanding our advertising and sort of making that orange logo a little more ubiquitous. We've had some real success with Facebook advertising. By last Monday, we'd had about 14,000 looks, which is great.
And how many kids have we actually had sign up through the portal?
We have not had as many as we expected. Right now, we're at about 1,500. We expected, quite honestly, close to about 10,000 at this point. But we're retrenching and working on reaching them in different ways, and
So we're going to extend then the application
Yes.
timeline.
Yes,
So it's
absolutely.
how long now will we extend that?
So we are beginning to accept young people for our supported employment April the 7th. That's a 2-week extension.
Okay, great.
And there will be rolling admissions for positions that aren't filled.
Got it.
But obviously, we want young people to go in, explore what's there, make some choices. We also have great community partners who are coming online, recruiting young people specifically in their communities.
How are you getting to the 18 to 24-year-olds?
So that's a tricky population, period. It's tricky with our WIOA contractors. And so we've done things like, I was on WVOL's new employment-related programming on Mondays midday, talking to folks who are, as parents and as job seekers themselves, may be aware of where young people are. We're reaching out with social media. Our experience with WIOA is that many of those young people have access to social media, even if they are not necessarily connected in other ways. Reaching out through parks, reaching out through libraries and community centers may also be effective. And our community partners several of them actually are providers of our WIOA services, so they're people who already have relationships in the community and reach out. But we are happy to explore other strategies. We know it's a tricky population to reach.
I'm thinking about colleges and universities in particular.
Oh, those folks have been great.
Yeah. As far as, students maybe
Yeah.
needing jobs over the summer and things like that.
Those folks have been great. We've had some great conversations and distribution from the colleges and universities in the area. Many of them are very excited about this. The college is about the job. Opportunity Now is a great fit for a job in the semester when you're needing to work and go to school, and in the summer when you want to stay in Nashville, because Nashville's a great place to stay, and you need to work to be able to do that. And the career centers and the universities have been absolutely wonderful with helping us get that word out.
Okay, great. Any questions? Great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for making time and coming down today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.